right, so the big news yesterday, Jeff Sessions being fired by the president, asking to resign, which is a nice way of saying being fired. What effect does this have on the Kavanaugh investigation? The Mueller investigation everyone wants to know.
We don't know. The big change is that Rod Rosenstein is no longer supervising the Mueller investigation because he took over the position of acting Attorney General, and Rod Rosenstein had been acting Attorney General because Sessions had to recuse himself. Well, that's not an issue anymore. Mm-hmm. So the new acting Attorney General is Mr. Whitaker, who had been Sessions' chief of staff for a bit now. So there's some stability in theory as a result of Whitaker being moved up. But I don't know what his view is on Mueller's investigation. Should it be allowed to run its course like a virus, or should it be shut down, as I suggest, because it's abusive and unconstitutional? We'll see. My guess is there'll be a mix where he'll try to rein him in a little bit while allowing him to finish up.
Well, he did say that this investigation does have parameters, and he is overrunning the parameters of the investigation, and that can't be. And so that's what the left is screaming about now, saying that he needs to recuse himself because he has an opinion on the investigation, because apparently you're not allowed to have a legal opinion of something if you're a lawyer.
That's right. Lawyers and all of us have a lot of opinions coming into positions like this, but you're not able to follow up on them the way you might want to when you're put into the position to make decisions, as now Mr. Whitaker is as Deputy Attorney General, or excuse me, as Acting Attorney General. Yeah, look, my view is the Sessions Attorney Generalship was a huge disappointment in terms of transparency and government accountability. They protected institutionally the Justice Department from inquiries on corruption. They thought they were above the law in terms of not answering to Congress or the President. Whether Sessions is personally responsible for that, maybe not, because he recused himself on some of these Russia investigation issues, but because he did recuse himself on these Russia investigation issues, which was the issue of a generation for the Justice Department. He kind of took himself out of a major issue related to the Justice Department, or a major component of the Justice Department. That's why the President was frustrated. He hired him, and within a few weeks, he says, "I'm recused from an issue important to the President." The President has a right to Attorney General. He has confidence in, and he didn't have confidence in Attorney General Sessions, and it was an unfortunate situation that resulted in his leaving right after the election.
It's got to be a bizarre relation. Now the Justice Department has declared yesterday that all of the activities of the Justice Department are under directly the purview of the Acting Attorney General, Matt Whitaker, which is a very clear implication that the Mueller investigation is now his to oversee. It's got to be a strange relationship now between him and Rod Rosenstein, and I wonder what that must be like now for those two men, because Rod Rosenstein kicked off the Mueller investigation, and now he has to hand over control. I mean, don't you think that, Rod Rosenstein has had to have predicted this firing for some time, and probably is prepared for it in some way?
Oh yeah, once he saw, because Whitaker's name being Acting Attorney General was broached a few weeks ago. And I'm sure he knew sooner than that, further back than that. He saw the writing was on the wall. Rod Rosenstein is a political person, and my guess is he'll be okay with this, but who knows? And it really doesn't matter, because Rosenstein, in my view, was conflicted in his handling of the Mueller investigation, because Mueller was investigating an issue that Rosenstein endorsed, which was the removal of Comey as FBI director.
Yes.
So it's something that Rosenstein should have been able to predict. And look, according to the New York Times today, Rosenstein and other folks at DOJ, deep staters, it sounds like, don't trust Whitaker because they think he's a White House spy. To me, that encapsulates why Whitaker should be Acting Attorney General. It's a kind of an after-the-fact endorsement, but shows you the arrogance.
It's like he thinks he works for the President.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you want to show what the problem with DOJ is, you have these people who think they all should see themselves as, quote, White House spies, because they all work for the President
of
the United States.
What does that mean? Yeah, exactly. Well, this is the opposite.
Are there any WMAL spies here in the studio?
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Well, it's interesting because, I keep hearing over and over again, well, he's supposed to oversee, he's supposed to be independent, he's supposed to be, the head of the Justice Department, so he should be independent and unfettered by constraints of the President. But it's funny how they didn't feel that way with Eric Holder and Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Well, that's an unconstitutional approach to the Justice Department. Justice Department is an executive branch agency directed by the President of the United States. It's not a fourth branch of government. And now we're going to have, and I'm glad that we're at least, I think, going to take some steps to rein in this rogue agency.